to talk you through some of our core values. We feel like these really anchor both the journal and also the community itself, and so we wanted to just explain them, each of them, to you and go through them in terms of what the journal offers and also what the community offers. Firstly, our first core value is companionship. So this is the idea that the journal will be a companion to you, will help you on those days when you're maybe struggling. You can look back through the exercises, you can look back through some of your notes. It's a companion, it's there to be with you during this journey of change. And Linda's going to talk a little bit about how the community likewise is going to offer that companionship to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know that when I'm working, it can be a very lonely place. I'm a sole business, I work on a farm, well, I have a farm in the Lake District, and having a companion and somebody to bounce things off and talk to and just ask questions of, and you know, whether it's the weather on the day or what's happening on the farm or with grandchildren or in my business, it's really important to have people to bounce off. So within the community, we hope that, you know, we build up some great companionship and friendships in there. So yeah.
So the next one is momentum or motivation. So the whole idea behind the journals is to keep the momentum going. It's not about a big overnight change, it's more about these small incremental ways that you can keep gaining momentum. It's always hard in the beginning. Like anything, if you're trying to push a big boulder, it's going to be hard to get it going, but once it's going, it's much easier to keep the momentum going. And also what we wanted to do is have the journal be a place to find motivation. So, you know, sometimes I find discovering something about the way that your mind works and knowing more about, oh, actually, that's how everybody's mind works, so that's why I feel like that in that certain situation can actually be quite motivating. And so we're hoping to fill it with lots of interesting insights and exercises which can keep you motivated and keep that momentum going as you move through the change you want to make.
So within the community, when we're looking at momentum and motivation, one of the great motivators is having people cheer you on, and having people who know what you're aiming for and how you're aiming to do it, and they're encouraging you all the time. So lots of motivation in the community from other people, like-minded people that are doing similar or same to you, and that helps to gather momentum. And you've also got that little bit of, you know, I'm answerable to the people in the community, so it helps to motivate you and give you that momentum because other people are on the journey with you, but they're also watching. So really important in the community that we cheer each other on, just to, you know, really help them in those areas.
So our third core value is all about enhancement over fixing, as we call it. I know there's a lot of courses or join groups that you can join and things like that can sometimes go into the area of trying to fix something. I'm not a believer that anyone is broken, and I'm not a believer that anyone needs to be fixed. My core belief is that, you know, people have potential within them. Sometimes it's just how do you unlock that, how do you get that out, and that's what the communities are going to be all about, and that's what the journals are going to be all about. So it's really about picking, helping you identify areas where you could enhance the way that you're expressing that. So maybe it is that you have a fitness goal and you're looking at ways, how can I actually express that better? How can I enhance that part of myself? And that's what we're going to help you do with the journals, is breaking down and identifying what those are going to be. And the articles that we're going to keep bringing out are all going to be in a sort of a personal development sphere. They're going to be helping you enhance the way that you make change happen and you actually execute change. So that's what the journal's all about. What's the community going to do?
Well, in the community, there'll be a little bit of policing over this, I think, because it's very, very easy, and because of the society we're in and the way that we would, you know, sort of hear and see it in other areas, you will hear people say, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Well, there's no shoulds in our community. Yeah. It's, this is what I found this helpful, you know, this is a story about how things have changed for me when I used this particular method. So what we will be doing is encouraging you to share best practice and experiences, but please don't go in and try and fix somebody, because you really don't know where they're coming from, what they're going through now, what their daily life is like. So you can't fix them, but you can offer them help and support, and that's what we're about.
So So our fourth core value is all about kindness, but importantly, when we were brainstorming these out, Linda was straight in there with this one. She was saying it's kindness to yourself and to others. So yourself first. So very much with the journals is when you're filling them out, please don't feel pressured to be perfect or to beat yourself up about not having achieved something, or when you're doing your reviews thinking, I haven't done that, or I feel really bad that I haven't achieved as much as I wanted. Be kind to yourself. Change is really, really difficult. You'll learn from all the articles. You're not really wired to make it particularly easy. You want to stay with the status quo. It's where your comfort zone is. So please, when you're going through, please do think about being kind to yourself. And as I mentioned from the journals as well, is thinking being kind to others is, you know, the others around you are having to also experience the change that you're going through, and sometimes that'll be difficult. We touched on this with the boundaries thing. We talked about this in various different articles. You are changing and people around you are having to watch that change happen, and they might not understand it as well as you would hope that they would. So just be aware of that and be prepared for that. And what we'll try and do with the journals and the articles is help you also educate and inform those around you as well as to what's going on. So please do use the journal in that way if you want to show somebody something, because an article will explain it easier than you actually discussing it with them. That's what the journal's going to be. It's going to be this resource that you can show and help those around you and help you progress forward as well. So, and likewise in the community, it's going to be exactly the same.
Yeah, I don't think I can add an awful lot more to that, apart from, you know, kindness is, it's an attitude, it's a state of mind, it's the language that you use. So very much reiterating what Nick has already said, you know, be kind to yourself. Don't, what were you just saying when we did an earlier cut?
Yeah.
You know, don't put yourself down to elevate others. You know, you are all so important for the role that you play in the community, in your own communities and your families, and the experience that you bring is really important. So don't put yourself down just because you don't excel in an area that somebody else does. You know, you may think that you are more or less able, but that's not the point. The point is that we're all here to learn from each other and to support each other. So, you know, be kind. You don't know what anybody else's journey is, and you don't know what they're going through today or any other day. And I think we're all witness to that, particularly this week, aren't we, Nicola?
Exactly.
So we've had shared things this week that we've been discussing, and you know, kindness is something that we really just should put first.
So the fifth one is all about integrity. So what I mean by this is thinking about what the right thing is to do, and doing it even if nobody's watching. So there is an element of, and I know this can happen in social media, is that people can present a certain way of being, but behind the scenes it's not a true reflection of what's happening. So if you can think about it from in terms of the journal, what I've tried to do in here is show humility, show examples of myself. So some of the examples in the journal are actually examples from my own life of exactly scenarios that have happened to me, ways that I've struggled with making change happen, ways that I've struggled with motivation, that I've struggled with boundaries. A lot of the examples that are in the journal are personal examples that I have actually experienced. So there is a degree of integrity in the sense that nobody's perfect. I'm not this amazing productivity guru who's like smashing it every minute of every day. I am absolutely, as you know, just like everyone else. I'm just trying to make that every day a little bit better than the other, and that's hopefully reflected in the journals and the examples. So we'll always put examples within the journal articles. We'll always have these sort of real life experiences that I've tried to put into my writing. So please see that as our nod to integrity in the journals itself, and then I'll let you explain about how we're going to represent that in the community.
These two overlap so much.
Yeah.
What we're doing in the journals is exactly what's happening in the communities. So, you know, again, whatever you're putting into the community, what you're taking away from the community, do it with integrity. Be honest about yourself and others, and be honest in your work practices. You know, when you're writing in your journal and you're sharing it with us, don't ham it up, and you know, don't make out that you're something that you're not. Be honest, because you know what, you will grow more in the community in life if you're honest. You know, if you're somebody that is supposed to be losing weight, if you're a coach like me, and I work with people in health and fitness all the time, and I'm eating chocolates and I've had a glass of wine, I tell it as it is, because that honesty and integrity will allow people to be kind to themselves as well as others. So yeah, integrity is really up there on my scoreboard as one of the most important things.
So the sixth one is all about commitment to action. So in this, you'll see that in the journal, each of the articles also has an action section. So it's all about taking what you've learned and actually turning it into executable action. So what I've tried to do is make sure that each of the articles has a clear, very easily understandable exercise for you to apply your learning from that journal article into actual executable actions you can take forward. What I then obviously want you to do is go and do it and actually use it and go and use that information and that knowledge now to inform your life and help make changes that you need to make. And so really is commitment to making sure you fill out all of the exercises as well as you can. Make sure you have a quiet space, you can really focus on what you're doing. Don't just fill them out to tick a box. Try and really immerse in the exercise, sit in it and try and fill it out as best you can. Your results will be much better if you commit to that and actually doing the exercises really, really well.
So yeah, and in the community, this is a great place to to bring your commitment and tell the rest of us, because when you tell other people, and I know from my own experience, if I say I'm going to do something but I don't tell anybody, I can get away with not doing it. But if I announce it to my family, my friends, they're on my back, they're saying, how are you getting on? I've got a friend who texts me weekly and says, what's my total run this week? And so we will give you that resource and that ability. If you don't want to tell your family and friends outside because you're feeling uncomfortable at this time, tell us what it is that you're trying to do, tell us what you've committed to, and then give us some feedback, because we will be asking you, how are you getting on this week, and did you do those 3 things that you committed to do? So we'll give you that sounding board that'll just make you a little bit more answerable and help you with your commitment.
So our final one is about contribution. So as much as the journals are my baby, and the idea came out of nowhere and it's now an actual physical thing, it's all about contribution, because what I want people to do is benefit from the journals, absolutely, but I also need your contribution back in. So the articles that come out every month will be informed by the things that we hear from you guys about what you want to know. What is something that you're really struggling with? What is an area of your life that you find particularly hard to change? I'll go and do the reading, I'll go and do the research, I'll go and find out what we need to find out, and then obviously hopefully create an article that's going to help you guys figure that out, and an exercise that's also going to help you break down some executable actions to focus in that key area. So you are here as much to benefit as you are to contribute. It is a live thing. It is something that you can give a commitment to, both in terms of the article content and giving us feedback on the layout of different things. If the planning pages you think need tweaked, or anything that you find, we want to know. We want to hear about it. So message us, email us, give us your feedback, and contribute to making the Gen-iUs Journal the best that it can possibly be.
So the thing I would like to say about contribution is a community, particularly an online community, can be dominated by 1 or 2 people. And that isn't by their intention usually, it's just that they're the only people on there that are actually chatting and contributing. So what I would ask you all to do is just to consciously come to the community and share something on a regular basis. So that we get to know you, and we get to know what it is that you're doing, and we pick up that energy from you so we can help you and guide you if necessary. But as Nicola says, I'm the eyes and ears on a daily basis, morning, evening and noon in there, because I get up at all sorts of times of day and night with living on a farm, and we're going into lambing time at the moment. This may not be time appropriate in the middle of the summer, but this is what's going on at the moment as we film this. So I will be up at all times of day and night picking up your feedback in the community. So please do contribute on a daily level, but also, as Nick says, with feedback, what we can improve. It is probably the most unique thing about this community and this journal. There is nothing else like this out there in the marketplace that I've ever come across. I've seen journals, I've seen online communities, I've seen lots of things, but put together like this in this way, this is unique. You are part of something absolutely unique, And I think between us, Nicola, myself, and you guys, we could really move you forwards and do something quite incredible. So lots of contribution and lots of feedback, and just enjoy being here.